Howdy folks, welcome back to Out of Ore. We're going to be moving some dirt, running some material, and possibly moving some production. So let's jump right in. Been running the dozer a little bit. Need to see if I can get climbed back up that hill. And then I was kind of mocking up what I would need conveyor-wise to still be able to drive through here. Just using some wooden blocks to get an idea. So that's what that's all about. I can just fit under here with that. I'm not 100% sure I can fit under there with the dozer, but I believe the dozer is not any taller than the wheel loader. We'll find out. Let's see. I might actually be using you in a second. Let me just let you idle there. I purchased a roller, so I've been using that to kind of smooth out some of the dirt around here. Let's see if the dozer fits under. I was actually going to climb vertically just to see if I could. I think we might want to go a little higher. Or might go up and then do an up angle so it's a little higher. Yeah, I think we can make that work. See what kind of an incline we can climb. I'm going to flip over backwards. Over the blade a bit. There we go. Yeah, nice. It's got plenty of power. So I've been smoothing this off a little bit. Yeah, the blade is not perfect. I do like the new dirt physics, but it still has some problems. But one of the problems I run into is I've got all this good stuff here that's worth money. I was kind of hoping this hillside would be mostly dirt, but it is not. So I've been leaving some of the pay dirt here to work with and process. You can see we got a little bit of coal and pay dirt we've been pushing off the edge. It's kind of unavoidable. One thing I really wish we had was dirt caving like mechanics, if that makes sense. Instead of having this stuff floating out in the air, but that's pretty hard to do, I would imagine, from a coding standpoint. You need to run into problems with, you know, it falls on the player, on the vehicle, etc. But it would be nice. Let's grab the front loader. I'm going to move a little bit of this material and get it in the plant. And then we're going to kind of mock up some conveyors. Well, I think we'll get the conveyor over here. I'm not quite ready to move the plant yet, but I want to get an idea of the footprint for sure. Let's get this on. Let's get our beacon on. Oh, is that pay dirt? I think that's... might be mostly pay dirt. This is a little bouncy over here. I've been doing some dozing and it's a little tricky to get it all one level. Because you never know what the blade's going to do, how it's going to bite in or not bite in. If it's at certain angles, it won't even bite into the ground at all. It's kind of weird, but overall, you know, the dirt physics are very much improved for the dozer. So not too many complaints there. Also thought about just taking some of that dirt and pushing it. Whee! I was trying to just knock off this ledge, but maybe I should blast it down. It's got some pay dirt and some coal. I hate to just shove that stuff over and build a factory on it, but you might have to. Get a little divot there. But what I'm thinking is just coming off, like I said in the previous video, we're going to leave part of this here, but we'll come off there off the wash plant. And everything downstream from that wash plant would move across where we have more room. Watch, drop a wheel off in there. Yep. Whee! Alright, I think I still have some info. Yeah, I got a little bit of info left. Let's do a little more boom boom. And let's see, we got the snap build, that will work. On you, we'll put one on you just for funsies. So that's one way of getting it knocked down. That's what I've kind of been doing over here. Fire in the hole. I didn't say that, but that's okay. Just me up here on the mountain. I'll try not to blow myself up. Here we go. So that gets it down, and we can shove it over. There's just lots of good stuff in here. Wonder, once we get past this hump, wonder then if it's more just regular dirt. We can get rid of trees like that? Oh, I'm loving it. Heck yeah. I think this gets into more just regular dirt. Oh, I can have so much fun with Amfo. It's just burning money, but that's okay. It's fun. That's why we're here, right? Having fun. Alright, let's grab some of this and then we'll get the plant turned on. So as long as there's, you know, pay dirt or coal here, I'm going to keep processing it for the most part. There's a little bit that got pushed over with the dozer. And if we can get in some regular old just dirt, we'll use that for fill. I really wanted to use the dozer more today. Not really at the point where I can use the dozer. Alright, how are we looking in here? If I bring that up, I say return. Yeah, it's all pay dirt. It's kind of what I was thinking. That turned on, and you turned on. Everybody turned on. All right. That's my quagmire. I'm terrible at impressions. I had a comment recently that said I sounded like Patrick Warburton. I'll take that. He's got a nice voice. I don't have his talent, though, for, you know, various voice acting things. I'm just me. Can't really do impressions and stuff. Or accents or any of that. There's a lot of coal right in here. Hello. Nice up close view of the bucket. It's weird. I got some static in my speakers like cell phones used to do. Cell phone's just sitting there though. It's not doing anything. Alright, no shortage of material to run, that's for sure. Some of this pay dirt I may just use for fill. Let's get the coal. The coal is actually really valuable. Now we're getting some regular dirt falling down in there. So I think we can start pushing on some of that with the dozer. Got quite the hump there. Alright, let's shut you off for a bit. And how are we looking down here? You're still pouring through. So yeah, basically I'm still going to use this as the dump area. It'll be the main sorting. I'm going to redo some of this. So the plan is this will become a right-hand turn. It will go up a conveyor. Probably the up 4x4 and then across. And then I don't really want to dump down because then we get into different like power grids. And that just becomes such a pain when you want to turn stuff on and off because we don't have any way to, like a master switch. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do once I get over here. I could come down, you know, with some conveyors. The easiest way would just be to drop it with like a chute and a hopper, but then like I said, you get into separate power grids. It becomes more and more of a pain to turn things on and off. And I play games to have fun, not be a pain. So anyway, that's what we got going on. I think that's all done processing. So let's turn the plant off. Quit wasting coal. And let's get this set up like I was talking about. So we'll get rid of you. And then we're going to get rid of you. And we need a right-hand turn. We go ahead and snap to that. Let's see, it's that line. There we go. Go ahead and dig this out a little bit. Switch back to grid mode, so that's coming over, and it's going to be sitting on that, and then over one more. This is the advantage of building on the grid. There are disadvantages, of course, but advantage is you can plan stuff out, and it's all just on the same grid. So we're getting a little bit close to the road. We're going to keep that in mind. We should now, in theory, be able to go boom, and then we're going up. And then I want to do boom, and then we're going to go across. This was kind of just to see how narrow, I needed to be. All right, and we can stick that one back down there, and let's get our straights on here. We pretty much just come across like that, I think. That's awfully low, though, isn't it? Can I still fit under there? It's getting pretty low. I'm gonna be limiting myself to the loaders that I can use. I mean, I always could scoop it out. Ooh, that's doable. We could always lower the road if we need to. Yeah, I think that's workable. Why not? We'll see if that's workable. And of course, as we come across, we need to go into this guy. So we need to start getting some pieces out of here. The disadvantage of this is this is going to have to rejoin and get resorted, and yeah. We can reach over and just dump into here, probably. That will work. And then, yeah, all this stuff's going to go bye-bye. So we're going to have that guy gone. Do we have room over here? Not necessarily. We got the water pipe in the way. All right. And then just due to the way these things are, your corners take up a 4x4 block if you're talking about that size block. But we can get our right-hand guy back up here. Number 9. Let's go back to snap build, just to try to avoid any weirdness. And then we need at least a 1 block. And that should, in theory, dump into there. Yeah, something like that. And we'll go back to grid build for this guy. You can set on that. Then all this other stuff is going away. So big destruction. We're gonna have to move all of our dirt sales. Everything's moving. So that's my coal selling. I don't actually remember if I showed that on camera. It's hard to keep track sometimes. All the time between recording and playing different games. I think I did that on camera. We're selling to the Or Else company. So I've got it set up so I can just turn that storage to pass through, and we'll sell the coal. So that's what that's all for. All right, we're gonna get rid of this goofy stuff. I didn't like that. It was kind of a means to an end. when I built it. We're still going to have a little bit of stuff hanging out in space, but I may end up redoing some of that as well. Lots of wood blocks back. Oh, was it still making bars out of that? Whoops. It was still doing that part. Okay, fair enough. What I could do, I need some power lines. Well, here, we can take these. We can make that work. We'll relocate that and we'll figure out a way to run the bars through. Not full, am I? Still delete stuff when you're full? It used to be a thing. I'm not sure if that's still a thing. Okay, there's that. I may change this so it's not floating so much. I'll see, but for now it can set there. Something under that just so it doesn't look quite so pathetic. No, it needs to be one over. So try to make it look like something's happening down here. Okay, yeah, something's definitely happening down here. Alright, so now we're going to get all of our stuff. It's going to go across. We're also getting any iron ore or copper ore that we're putting in. That's what that metal sorter does. So this would come over and it would join the fun, and it's going to go across over here to our new building. And I'm going to get rid of Mr. Floaty Plant. And then how do we want to go into here? We have the high temp sorter. So we really need more inventory room. Now we need another straight, probably one of these 4 meters. Bring you over, and then if we did go into the high temp sorter, then we could branch off. It's almost, you know, ground level here. For that to come across, I kind of like how that works out. Then we need a right hand. Let's go ahead and move you down. We'll get our left and rights up here. So then we need a right hand that's going to go that direction, and we need a left hand that's going to go that direction. And then we're getting into our schmelters. Yeah, and high temp comes out the back, pretty sure. That's how most of these things work. So we need some more ups. Do I have any ups? I don't think I do. I think I need to go buy some ups. I need to make some gold bars. Let's go set that up real quick, just temporarily over here. So I'm gonna need this power thing. Here we go. Straight power. Oops. Wrong button. Move you that direction. And then we can slap the power cable on. This is going to be temporary. Nobody panic. We'll get a storage on there. We can get a bar roller on there. We can have another. I should have left the storage up here. We can get another storage on there. All right, that should let us roll these gold bars through there. Turn pass through on. Then turn you on. Turn you on. Should get gold bars out the other end. There we go. We'll let that run through. There we go. That was easy. All right, we'll stick you back down here where you go. that. Power hook back up like that. Perfect. Then you guys can just hop in my inventory. Now, as far as I know, we can just sell these from here. It's all the same. I do want to make some rubber silicon. Got my dozer idling way out there, burning gas. Not great. But hey, let's, we got some coal inventory, so we're going to splat that out. We can do diamonds and rubies. I'm not going to bother breaking them up because we don't have that many. Now I need some up 4x4s. So let's do that. Yeah, I need to get this. I need to get that scooped up, I guess. What kind of damage can we do with the dozer here? Some riggerel dirt out this way. There's a little bit of pay dirt in there, but let's start pushing. I really want to do a lot of dozing in this video. So I might waste some material to make that happen. I don't want to waste too much of this coal, though. I need to chop some trees. Oh, that's a lot of coal. Number 4 for the axe. Choppy, choppy. Choppy, choppy. No need to let this good wood go to waste. We can make stuff out of it. There we go. It's like there's a tree back in here somewhere. I wish you could push over trees with the dozer, but I think it just deletes them and then you don't get the log. And I kind of want to use the log. I'll tilt. I don't really like tilting the blade that much. It's just, without joysticks, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Tilts a little bit. Alright, so we be back to 0.89-ish. Yeah, we bit off more than we could chew. Oh, there we go. Break on through to the other side. Yeah, it doesn't really work that well. We need to get the loader over here and move some more material. But anyway, let's continue down the track of getting our conveyors and all this plant set back up. So we need to run down to town and get some conveyors. I'm lazy. I'm going to do this. I do drive to town occasionally, but it doesn't really add a ton of value when I don't have much time. All right, we need an up. Up, up, and away. So we want to go factory, conveyors, up. I need some of these. I need at least 2 of those. Oh, I already had one. Gotcha. Because of the thing with the stuff. Yeah, let's try that. I think I just need 1 for each. Possibly. So will that go up into the smelter? Actually, that's going to be... Wonder, do I want to come over? So we got our smelter and our high temp. So our high temp goes over on this side. So that's too far over, right? Yeah, that's too far over. So that definitely needs to come this direction some. What about this guy? So I got my regular smelter there. High temp. Yeah, by the time I come over, it's going to be too close, I think. Might have to move it on like past or something. Also, I kind of want to get a concrete floor under the smeltery and maybe even build some kind of building with it. All right, well, let's do this. Let's get the right, left, and then, yeah, that's like way too close. So I'd have to come on past it, which is doable. I've got one more of those. So if I slap that on, actually I think I can get away with having the 6 meter up there. How does that look? Can I get away with a 4? Does that make it too close? Yeah, we can get away with that. They don't have to be like perfectly next to each other. That's not any kind of requirement. So we're getting up into here. I need to doze a little more off. Still have a thingy? I do. I have a thingy. Excellent. It's fun having a thingy. Then you can mark stuff. Alright, I need to level off. Starting about there. And then we can get into like coming around to our bar roller and whatnot. I think I can make that work. So let me get rid of these for now. Need to shove some dirt. Then we need to buy some concrete blocks. Overhang is in my way if I go the other direction. Let's rescue our little pylon there. Pretty sure that's made from solid unobtainium and I can't move it with the dozer. Alright, so we can knock this high spot off a bit. Beautiful. And I should have bought some concrete blocks while I was down there. Alright, I got 140 grand. Oops. I think we can afford some concrete blocks. Let's go get some concrete blocks. I will even drive down there. What do I have in here? I've got some wood blocks in there, which we're doing okay on wood blocks. I guess I could do wood blocks, but then I've got the floors, don't I? Maybe we'll just do floors rather than going and getting concrete. Kind of wanted concrete, but well, I may use the wood blocks for retaining walls and stuff. Let's do concrete for the factory part of it. How am I doing on time here? We're coming up on almost half an hour. I haven't done a whole lot of dozing yet, but we're getting stuff done. That's not where you wanted to go. Bonsai! Woo! Alright, we did it. Autosave. Coming through. Alright, we're not terraforming right now, so that's perfect timing. Which way do I need to go? Was it this store? No, it was the starting place. That's what has the concrete blocks, right? I'm not completely wrong. No, I think it's actually the other one. It's not this one. I'm just going to turn around here. This is where I buy conveyors and stuff. I think this one has blocks. Crap. Nope. Where do I, is that the, I think it's the mineral rights and wrongs. Yeah, I think it is over there. It has the stuff. Alright. I can't get there from here, so we have to go around. That's a light post. I know it's a mining game, but man, the pickup needs a lot of work. It could be so much better. But it does get you from point A to point B. Alright, that's Bethlehem Steel. We come past here, right? No, I always forget that. We have to turn in at Bethlehem Steel to get to the starting area. I always mess that up. Yeah, we gotta come through here and then up this little thingy. Sure, that works. Alright, I think this place has the things. No, it only has ore. I thought somewhere you could buy the concrete blocks. What am I missing here? Is it actually here and I'm just dumb? That's also a possibility. I didn't think it was at the place that had the conveyors. Let's go look there. And then that's really our last option, right? Iron Johnson's just vehicles. These are just dump points to sell things. Maybe the general store is the only one that has it? Let's go check. I always turn the wrong direction. Yep, I have no idea where I'm going. Supposed to turn here? No. Always go out the wrong direction. Gotta go north. North, you fool. All else fails, I could look at the compass. Yeah, let's go look at the Glenmore where I usually get my conveyors and such. If not, I guess I'll have to buy cement and make my own. Or just buy from the general store. Factory, oh, it is here. It is here. Alright. So 383 for a concrete block. And then there's used to be... polished concrete. There we go. Do I want to pay a premium for polished concrete? Or go super cheap with the rough concrete? I can't remember exactly what these look like. I think we'll go for just the regular guy. So let me buy 100 of those. It's only 38 grand. Oops. 100 of those. Click the right button. Let's go build a factory. I went and fueled up the dozer. It's also incredibly slow going up this little slope here. It's not just the pickup. Pickup makes it fine if you don't let off the gas. This stuff is weirdly underpowered. Okay, we are going to build a concrete floor and we're going to put stuff on it. It's going to be awesome. Let me go back to grid build. And then you're coming up to yeah. This is going to be our factory floor here. Probably need to come out at least that far, if not further. Then you're going to come over to here-ish, probably. Watch, 100 won't be enough. I mean, that should be a 10 by 10. I was thinking that'd be enough. Used to Space Engineers, you can click and drag and just build a whole bunch of stuff. There we go. All right, and then we'll have our... Actually, do we need to? We need to come one further back. Yeah, I think we do. My regular smelter. There you are. Alright, regular smelter, you go on there. Yeah, that'll look better with this part being on the concrete, I think. I think that's all. That'll look better. And then you are going to need all kinds of concrete blocks. Not lined up like that, though. That's negative. Let's go back to grid build. There we go. I kind of wish we had angle blocks for more options, you know? And yes, I know I misclicked over there. I'll get it. Finished man will get it. That's what my dad used to always say when we were building stuff. The joke being that we were doing everything, so we were the finished guy. One thing we didn't do when we were building a house is pour the foundation. We had somebody else do that. We did everything else. Good times. Not really, but I built a lot of character. It wasn't all bad. Alright, so that kind of gets us to there. And then I need more concrete over here, for sure. Waste of good coal. My Scottish ancestors are crying out in agony as I waste money. All right, I got 11 more of these. Wow, that 100 concrete blocks went very, very quickly. So we're obviously not at 10 by 10 because I'm out. But hey, we have part of a factory. So really all we have left is we need to sell dirt, obviously. I didn't get that put in. Whoops. And then we just have the bar roller, really. It's kind of what we're waiting on. Yeah, I totally forgot to sell off the dirt. Whoopsie. So we could possibly come over into... Alright, let's redo this and see if we can salvage it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to salvage it. We'll see what we can do. Might have to completely redo everything I just did. That'd be fun. Because the problem is you use the trommel to get the dirt and pay dirt. I mean, I know I've explained this all before in video. You can just send everything through everything and it doesn't matter. I just don't like doing that. Like, I want to separate out the dirt and the pay dirt, and then that goes through the wash plant. But the wash plant, you know, the dirt will go through whatever dirt you wash off. The pay dirt also comes out as dirt. So you're separating out the dirt here. You also need to separate out the dirt downstream, at least the way I'm doing it. I don't like everything just running through everything. It just doesn't make me happy. Nothing wrong with doing that if that's how you want to play. It's just not how I want to play. Now the problem with this is... No, do I have 2 lefts? I do have a bunch of lefts. We can do that. We're getting into the road though, so I need to come over with the trommel even more. Son of a biscuit. Yeah, this is getting messy, and I messed up. Do I have another up? I do. I have more ups. Let's go more ups. Like that, and then we'll come over with some straight. Then we'll head into the trommel, possibly. Then if I do a left, where am I at? Left. That's still kind of in the way, isn't it? It's bulky work, that's for sure. All right, I need my... probably another straight 6? And then the trommel. And then we're up to this level, which is fine. I can make that work. Then I can do my left. I think I can make that work. I sounded very confident there. Left, and then the sell point. This actually could be lower. The sell point sets up a ways. Do. Yeah, that's going to need to be up for sure. Okay. So we got this. I need more ups, aren't I? I've got more ups. All right, we come up and then left, and then a shoot into the sell point. Shoot. Boink. Then do I have room to set the sell point here? Yeah, it's right on there. It's right on there. I could trim around that a little bit. We still got room to kind of drive, sort of, maybe, mostly. All right. So that part's there. Now we have to get bent back around to these guys. But we are in the same plane, which is good. What's not good is we are very far off from where I need to be. And then I need to change positions on where these guys are. We'll get there. All right, Mr. High Temp Sorter. Also, we need to be up for that, don't we? All right. Let's get rid of the chute. Let's get her up. We got one more up to play with. We can go into the High Temp Sorter. Can't do that. We need to come out at least 2. Do that, and then we can do a left. That's into our high temp smelter. Is this going to work out? I need a right hand. And then right hand. and then the left hand. I'm doing grid build here, which is not always great for getting things snapped in where they need to be. So that's too far over. Well, let's see what it looks like. All right, so that's going to be the high temp smelter there. So if I slap a high temp smelter there, oh no, this is going to work. I believe I can fly. Can I just slap you on? No, it's kind of not great. We can do a little straight guy there though. Slap you on like that. That gives me some room to get some catwalks maybe. And then we're not sticking over too far. High temp smelter. Yeah, we made it work. Look at us go. I say us, it was all me, but that's okay. You guys were there cheering me on. All right, what did I mess up? That's the new question. What did I mess up? Also, I need a... Oh, I need a right-hand turn. Look at that. I need a right-hand turn. Snap. Then we need to go into the bar roller. So I'm going to need some more pieces, aren't I? I'm definitely going to need another up. All I've got really left is straights and a chute. I have it down for some reason. Where's my longer straight? Here we go. So what we do is come off of there and then... Oops, that was the wrong straight. If I had an up here, I think that would maybe let me dump on. And then if I had a right hand. So I need an up 4x4 and a right hand. Now I might be able to pull this off. So we go back to... I'll find it eventually. Up 4x4, yes please. And then I need a right hand. Yes please. I know I'm burning dozer fuel. Okay, so you come to the right, and then you're not quite lined up with that, so that's excellent, because that doesn't work. Awesome. Ooh, you're one off of being what I want you to be. So what if we did this instead? What if we went up, and then right? We're still way off. We could come back around with another right and some straights. Man, I need another right. How much money I got? I got 95 grand. I should buy some, just buy some stuff. Couple of those. I've got the straight pieces. I think I've got all the straight pieces I need. Not sure I need it down at this point. I'm just going to sell that off. I've got more trees down there for some reason. I know, Dozer. You're just sitting there idling away. We're going to get back to work here eventually. So, yeah, I don't like that sticking out that far. Let's go back to our original. We bring this off with a right. Then we go with an up. And we're getting ready to head into bar roller territory. So if I did another right, you end up there. You're still not quite right. Need to come back one more from here, so I probably... Did I use up that 6 straight? I can use a 4 and a 2. Do-do-do-do. One of you. One of you. One of you. One of you. And then into the bar roller. I don't have any concrete under here. That's okay. And you can go into storage. That's a lot of conveyors just to go nowhere. At least it's all on one level for the most part. Alright, and then a left-hand turn into storage. Ta-da! The world's best plant ever. Not really. This could be better. I'm sure of it. Snake that around. I may redesign this, but Let's go see if it's functional, at least. You know what I mean? So we know this part works. This rarely gets used unless I'm doing iron or copper from the mine, but it does occasionally have use. So that dumps into here and goes on up. That should work. I can eventually test it at some point, but it should just drop out of here into there. Because it's ore. So then everything else is going through here. Goes across, meets Mr. Trommel. Mr. Trommel says dirt and pay dirt go out the back. At this point it's only dirt, so dirt gets sold. Everything else comes over here into the high temp sorter, which basically says high temp metal goes out the back, goes in there, and regular temp ores go through there. And there's still a little bit of pass through just because we don't have the proper sorting mechanisms. So ruby ore and diamond ore are going to go through a smelter, but that can't be helped because we don't have any way to not do that. I don't think. There might be maybe one of the shaker screens or something could do it. There's nothing specific for that. So I think that'll work. And then the melted stuff comes out. Since we're using a chute, this will drop down on that conveyor belt magically. I think. Goes through the bar roller, and there we go. Alright, let's get some supports down. I don't like stuff floating out in left field. Yeah, we got a few of those left. Let's do that. You got to point at the one you don't want to do. Just how those things work. And then we'll have Mr. Concrete come out this way. That's about as much as we got. That's okay. We'll buy more concrete eventually. I think this will work though. Poor dozer. It's sitting here. I think we're gonna have to get the loader over here though. Ah, stupid thing. That really bothers me when it grabs dirt and it shouldn't. It's such a huge pain in the butt. Wrong button. Yeah, let's get the loader over here. And over the roller. Let's run some material and see if this still sort of works how it's supposed to. And then I can do some more digging and decorating. Make it a little cleaner looking. So it's kind of weird that we scoop right next to here and then we have to bring it over here to dump it, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. We're going to be bringing a lot of material out of that mountain right there. So it's all good. That was a pathetic scoop. That's okay. It's kind of falling off the back there. That wasn't working out very good. There we go. Let's get a big old nice scoop of pay dirt. And then it all falls out. Yeah, these machines, they should have tons of torque, and they just don't have very much torque at all. It doesn't seem like. So hopefully that continues to improve. It's definitely better than when I first started playing it. And the dozers especially, those are heading in the right direction. They're actually pretty usable right now. I don't want to dig too much of a pit over here, but you can dig a little bit of one. All right, let's dump this in, turn this thing on, and see what happens. So one big little button I can just hit and turn everything on and off. I don't need like a PLC or anything, I just need a button. You can link up and say, turn these things on or off. Or have the power input set so you can set a toggle, it'll come on with power or not come on with power. That would give you options. Options are always good. Alright, we got smoke coming out everywhere. I see boxes moving, that's a good sign. Money's ticking up, so we're selling dirt. That's good. I don't remember if I turned off the sell coal function. Whee! I did turn it off. Alright, cool. So we're storing the coal. That's what I want to do right now. So I need to process this whole wall here because there's a lot of pay dirt there. And I'll just continue pushing that with the dozer as we can. Almost dump this right into the sell point. I mean, you could do that, but don't necessarily want to. There's almost too much pay dirt over here, if that makes sense. Makes it easy to make money, I guess. Even on hardcore, money's no problem once you get rolling. Now that we can make like fill stations with the storage tanks, I think I'll end up getting a rock truck at some point. We can take some stuff down to town to sell. Just for funsies. Been a little while since I did much trucking. We did a lot of that in season 4. But in season 5 up in the Arctic, we didn't have to do any trucking really. I did a little bit, but it was pretty short distance. And of course, season 6 was just the go big or go home with the huge bucket excavators, or wheel excavators, whatever they're called. The baggers, those guys. So there wasn't really any trucking there because that's not really easy or fun to do solo. Now, if you're playing multiplayer, you can bag and truck, definitely. Alright, I think the new plant's working. We'll put this scoop in, we'll go take a look. A little bit of a screenshot there. Always need a thumbnail. Turn you off. Auto save. It's like I quit digging dirt just in time. That's running. We'll let it run for a little bit so we can get all the bars made. Just wondering, is it worth... I have to put an angle in there. Oops, overshot. Put an angle in there and send it out that way. Then, yeah, we'd be getting into the water pump. I'm just trying to think if I could redo this in any way that would kind of make sense. Not really. I think I'll leave it like this for now. This does make a convenient dump point, and I like the power plant and the water being right there. It's just nice and easy and accessible. We'll see. We'll see how much space we get cleared over there. Might eventually do something different, but I think that will work for now. Yeah, we need some more blocks in here for sure. Get some blocks there. We'll get some blocks over here. Probably be building some retaining walls here and there. You under there. Like we need some right there. Get some holding that up. Yeah, looks a little better. I'll do some more decorating and whatnot, but I think that'll do it for now. We're coming up on an hour here, so I think that's about long enough. Cool. Progress is being made. I'm going to keep running material. I want to get some dirt moved. So I'm looking forward to getting that moved, and we'll get back into some dozering. We'll see what the side of this hill is made out of. Thanks as always for watching, folks. I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care.